Hey guys, welcome back to All These TV. Phil Miles was basically dying then in the build up to the video. I think he's okay now. Are you okay now, Phil?
I'm good, mate. I've been in
I've never
bed
seen,
like
I've
all
never
week.
heard a coughing fit like that. Then, to be honest, I honestly thought you were dead then at that point, mate.
I have been in bed since Monday, so you're the only reason I've got out.
Ah, how amazing is that to hear, Chris? How are you doing, mate?
Yeah, well, good. Yeah, it feels like a while since we've been on here, but yeah, it's strange. I know a lot's changed in Leeds as well.
No, it's very similar, very similar. Guys, please hit that like button if you haven't done already. Smash the subscribe button as well. We're going to be going through our preview for Leeds versus Cardiff. So, first of all, a couple of things to pick up from the press conference. I'm not going to go through everything, but there are a few things we want to talk about first and foremost. The striker situation, yeah, not ideal. Not ideal, is it, if we're being honest? So we know Bamford's out of this game, out for 4 weeks at least. Jorginho Rutter looks like 2 games he's going to be out for. Matteo Joseph, again, 4 or 5 weeks as well on him. So we have got a pretty dire striker situation at this moment in time. Phil, what is your assessment of it, and how big a priority in this transfer market is now signing a new striker? I mean, how big is that now?
Are you trying to say that Dan James up front after 2 years isn't what we all wanted anyway?
My hot take is that, yeah, I'm not sure. I'm not convinced on it. Maybe you see a little bit more of it before I can make a conclusive opinion on it, but
We haven't seen
I'm not
enough.
sure. I've not seen enough of that yet.
No.
I don't feel like I've seen enough of Dan James up against a 6'6" centre back trying to win headers and flick ons. I've not seen enough of that yet.
Dan James scoring a headed winner against Burnley, don't get me wrong, it was 90th minute, we were already 2-1 up, we won 3-1, was not the last victory I ever saw at Ellen Road, but the one before that in January 2022. Fun fact. But yeah, the striker situation is, let's be honest, there's no disrespect meant to Patrick Bamford in this situation. And I don't like seeing the amount of hate that he gets for little things like a celebration in a preseason friendly. I don't think it needs to be something that people get pissed off about. But you can't rely on him to be a striker that's going to play 46 games this season. We already know that can't happen. I don't think he can play more than 20, 25. And even if he did, he never scored more than 16 goals in the championship at best. So we want someone that's going to bag us 20, 25 goals this season. And at the moment, it looks like the only person mainly capable of that might be like Sinistera or one of the wide players. And you want a proper striker. So I see people obviously going out and saying 15 mil for Joel Pirro, go get him right now. But I mean, in terms of numbers, the numbers that Farker mentioned in training yesterday is worrying. The fact that we haven't got necessarily a starting number 9 to begin the season with this weekend isn't great, but I'm also fairly level-headed. I'm a little bit in between. Like, I'm not so extreme he's gone already. I'm not so extreme that I'm pissed off at the recruitment. I do feel like you can be quite calm in that there is a long way to go in this transfer window. It closes at the beginning of September. We've only just started August. Let's have a first couple of games, see how things go, and if we can get someone in before the end of the window, then I'm okay with that too. But it does have to be someone that is going to get us at least a good 20 goals a season if we are going to be able to compete with, obviously, Southampton are already playing now. If we can compete with the teams that have come down with us and actually genuinely start looking as though we are going to HMS piss the league, because at the moment, the squad, what we've got, the bit that I took from Farker today is that he's happy that we've kept a lot of the players that we wanted to keep and the squad looks strong. So if we have a strong squad and we manage to keep some of those players and add a little bit of quality in it that can genuinely push us towards the top places in the league, I'm trying my best to stay as level-headed as possible. While Oscar's gone, I'll take over hosting duties and I'll ask you the same question, Chris. How are you feeling on the striker front?
It's a bit of a concern. I mean, I like you. I can't believe we're still here talking about Bamford and Dan James. Even talking about the third and fourth options not being ideal. But I do look at the players we've kept so far. I mean, I don't believe we're going to keep everyone in the next month. I'm sure at least one, probably two of them are going to go. I suppose some of the attacking options before the strikers, but I think we needed a striker before the injuries. We definitely need it now.
Yeah.
But I think there is time, whether it's a loan, whether it's someone kind of on deadline day or towards the end when we get a bit of cash in from someone else who is more than likely going to go.
Yeah.
But yeah, we can't get through a season having this kind of dilemma every week of is it Dan James, is it Bamford, is it Joffrey up front? Reuter, I'm still not sold whether he's going to be our saviour. I don't know. I've seen quite a few people saying that he's going to be our top scorer, but I don't know
when he gets back.
I haven't read your preview, but yeah, if that's what you put.
I haven't done one, so I can't even be thrown under a bus this time. I haven't done anything yet. I'm going on honeymoon on Tuesday, so I'm fully in holiday mode right now. I'll prepare properly when I get back. Here he is.
How are we? Sorry about that, guys.
We held the fort really well. We've answered the question.
I thought you did there, Phil. I thought you did a great job. There, mate.
Remind me what I said.
I heard every single word there. Every single word. I thought some of the comments you made on Sam Allardyce were really, really good there, mate. Right, okay. So, yeah. Let's move on from the striker situation, because everyone else has heard, apart from me, your thoughts on the striker situation. The left-back situation is the next one to move on to, because that is also messy.
Firpo stayed. We're fine.
Yeah, but he's not going to stay, is he? I cannot see that being the case.
We've only got one loan left.
Yeah, but he might just sell Firpo. I don't know.
I can't sell him. Keep him. Make him captain.
Okay. Interesting. I'm not going to rise to the bait. Give it a go. Right, let's just talk about the left-back situation. Okay. Leo Hjeld, I thought, did a really good job in pre-season, but we still need to sign a left-back. I don't want to be brutal here, but we still need to sign a left-back for me.
Is Sam Byram not doing it for you as a potential left-back or as a freebie
No,
as well?
sign a left-back. Not sign someone who's left-footed and a left-back. Not a right-back at left-back, please. I'm not going mad here. I'm not going mad, am I? Here? We need to sign an actual left-back.
I do get it. Obviously, left-back's been a problem.
I've nothing against Byron, by the way. I think that's a solid, nice bit of squad depth to have. And good player as well. But let's just sign a left-footed left-back.
Yeah. I mean, obviously, watching the first 20 minutes of the Southampton game, seeing Ryan Manning turning out for them, it is annoying. We should have gone and got him. And I think the takeover kind of stood in our way there. If the takeover was ratified earlier, maybe we could have got that done. But, they look strong. He would have been a good signing, but he's not the only left-back in the world. I'm glad the Brandon Williams stuff's kind of been hushed a bit because I don't want him. Too much of a scum bastard for me, to be honest. Don't want him here. I don't like Man United players. They're all in.
No, I agree. I think after Cameron Borthwick Jackson, that was it then. No more. Scott Wilson, Cameron Borthwick Jackson, no more.
No, they're all sent here to take us down, and it's just not worth it. But he's not the only one in the world. I mean, there was whispers today, and again, I know you were just talking then about not wanting a right back at left back, but there was rumours today, was it Southampton or Leicester were looking at Max Aarons? Another championship side were looking at Max Aarons and maybe tempting him away. I mean, surely we're in a position to be able to take him. And if you can get him, maybe shove him at left back or shove fucking anyone else at left back. Because I'll be honest, if Max Aarons comes in, I'd put the Cody Drammer and Luke Ayling both on a boat and send them both out because he'd be the best right back at the club straight away. So
is that a priority though? Is that an absolute? Considering the other areas, I do get what you're saying. Max Aarons is like, wow, it's really good.
But there's a big but here in that the right back has to be a right back. Whereas in Farke's system, the left back doesn't have to be a left back because they're always going to be inverted anyway, which is why Sam Byram has fitted in well in pre-season. I actually think a right-footed left back isn't a bad idea in this system. But don't get me wrong, in any other normal system, I would kind of be a little bit like, no, I want a left footer there, and I would want a left-footed left centre half, like the old Bielsa style. I would love all of that, but you got to embrace what we've got. And I think the inverted left back thing, you can get away with having a right footer there. Although I'd be intrigued to see Junior Firpo do the job equally as well, to be honest.
Well, right. If that's the case, then Yelder is a decent option to have. But I still look at it and say, I know what you're saying. I know what you're saying. I'm not saying Sam Byron can't be an option, by the way, but I still think it would be poor squad planning to literally not have a left back at the football club. I'm not counting fair play as an option.
It's served us so well for so many years, though, Oscar.
What?
We've been fine without a left back since Charlie Taylor left.
Well, right, our best left back, to be fair, in the last 10 years or so, has been Stuart Dallas playing left back.
There we go.
Left back. That kind of sums up the situation. I just don't think we've tried it so many times now, trying to get through the season with a lack of depth in that area, both quality and numbers wise. We need to just try and address it now. It's becoming a running joke now, isn't it? The left back situation at Leeds has been cursed for, certainly the last decade or so.
Yeah, I mean, I'd almost forgotten about Firpo. I kind of believe he's going to go as well. But I wouldn't be too disappointed if we didn't sign anyone else. As long as we got Byram, because we've got other priorities that I think we need to fill. We're not going to bring in 5 top quality players that are going to slot straight into the team. I think that's one area where we could get by with what we've got if we have to, if money is an issue.
Yeah, it's just, I hate those words, get by. It just feels like it's something we've been doing for the last 10, 15 years.
Yeah.
But I know what you're saying, Chris. The reality is, okay, as much as I'm being a little bit negative on this situation, at championship level, you don't get a perfect squad. It just doesn't happen. Even Burnley last season didn't have a perfect squad. They had, I think, their top scorer in terms of strikers. I think Jay Rodriguez was their top scorer, and he was less than 1 in 2 for Burnley. How good they were last season. So you don't have a perfect situation. I think he top scores for them in terms of strikers with about 10, 12 goals or something like that. So you don't get a perfect squad at championship level. Even a team as good as that, it just shows. But for me, we still need to look at strengthening 2 out of these 3 areas. Left back, number 10, centre forward. We need to strengthen in 2 of those areas at the very least. If we do, I think it makes a massive.
What would you say is the priority out of those 3 positions? And take the injuries that happened right now out of it. What would you say is more
before
important?
The injuries? My controversial hot take was number 10 was the most important position because I think it's crucial to how we play. Now, though, before people start shouting at me, with the injuries in that context, centre forward's now way top of the list. But number 10 is very, very important. I think people are massively sleeping on how important a number 10 is in the system because it's so crucial to how we play. At the minute, we've got fantastic wingers. I think they were going to make a massive difference for us in most games this season. But you need someone to connect it all together, like a Pablo, like a Click, like a Saiz. We haven't got that in the squad at this moment in time. You're playing possession-based football. Wingers naturally lose the ball a lot. They take high-risk actions. They're trying to take on fullbacks, take on midfielders, take on defenders. They're going to lose the ball a lot. They take a lot of high-risk, high-reward actions on the football pitch. It's natural. It's the position they play. They're on the pitch to make things happen. They're going to lose the ball a lot. You need someone who's going to be a little bit less direct and just spread play together. Be the hub of the team. The one that the game just runs through in that sense. I think Ampadu can be that for us, but I think we need someone higher up the pitch as well to do it. A bit like, to an extent, what Buendia did in Farke's system. We need someone like that to go with the goal scorers and creativity and brilliance that we've got out wide. We just need someone to. I don't think it needs to be like an elite player either. I just think it needs to be a player who can play that way. If Mateusz Klich was still at the football club, he'd be absolutely perfect to play. Amongst these wingers, he really would be.
You know what I kind of think at the moment, and the reason I'm not getting too het up about the transfer window and the way that we've worked it at all, to be honest, so far. Don't get me wrong, I'd like to see more movement, but I am happy to sort of allow them the first couple of games because Farke's only been in the door for, let's be honest, a couple of weeks. He's played fucking 4 friendlies in that time, but he's only been in the door a few weeks. He's had a little look at the squad as everyone's gradually got back. And as you get towards the back end of the transfer window, especially when the Premier League season starts as well, you do start to get the bigger clubs in the Premier League looking at their young players and thinking, who isn't going to get a game here? And then you start to see people going out on loan. And, like you probably heard every now and again a little whisper about like Cameron Archer at Aston Villa as a striker. That'd be a fantastic option for us on loan for a year if we can't go and get Joel Pirro right now. And I get, again, I know this one's ridiculously unlikely, but you know, Cole Palmer at Man City, if they were to ever loan him out, that's a perfect number 10 in this system. And don't get me wrong, he's just a name I've plucked out of thin air, but there will be other players at Premier League clubs that aren't going to get game time there, but will still get game time in the lower divisions and might see an opportunity with us. I don't mind that we haven't blown our powder on somebody. Like, you've seen the Nat Phillips thing swirling for ages. I don't want to go and blow 7 million quid on Nat Phillips right now when I think that kind of blocks Charlie Cresswell, to be honest, anyway, when I don't think that's what we absolutely need. I think we do need a number 10. I think that's our first priority, even with the injuries, because when the injuries come back, you've still got, don't get me wrong, Bamford, I don't want to rely on as first choice, but I have seen the suggestion around, and I agree with the sentiment slightly that we have enough attacking talent that you can just bomb 4 players. Sinisterra, Nonto if he stays, which is up in the air, but Sinisterra, Harrison if he stays, Nonto, Rutter, Bamford, Somerville. I mean, even Poveda looked good in pre-season. Joffy, Mateo Joseph, Sonny Perkins, if he don't go out. There's 10 players there. You can bomb them in and around for 46 games, whereas that number 10, there's nobody in that list that sticks out to me as a proper number 10. I think Joffy maybe does the job most naturally, but I don't see him being the person that gets shoehorned into it. I think it'll be more like a Nonto.
I think Rutter is the most natural. I think he actually looks... weirdly, I think he's not really played there at all in pre-season, but the positions he's took up has been like as a number 10 in a sense. Yeah. I still don't think he's the answer necessarily. I think he's more likely to be impactful off the right for us. You know, I think we've got a lot of players who I think are better on the left than they are on the right, and Rutter might be a genuinely decent option off the right. Or, you know, if we're chasing a game late on, we've got to put 2 up top, which isn't totally against Farke's philosophy. He won't start a game with 2 up top, but he has finished games with 2 up top at Norwich, you know, with Adam Ida and Timo Pukki up top quite a lot sometimes when they're chasing games. You know, how many late goals did Norwich scored that year that went up instead of us? Sums it all up, really. So he's still an option, Jorginho Rutter. I just don't think he's like a natural 9, but I think he's better in the 10. But I still think number 9 now is the most important one for us because
of the
injury problems we've got. I think that's. I do agree totally with what you're saying, mate. But I just think in context
would you want to go and blow a shitload of money on someone just simply because we've been put in this position though by injury?
Well, my big thing, anyone that comes in, and I'm going to ask Chris about this. Anyone that comes in has to be a massive upgrade on what we've already got. I don't just want to bring in players for the sake of experience necessarily. Nat Phillips is one. I'm not massive on that signing. I do think he's probably as good, if not better, than what we've got, apart from Charlie Cresswell. But is he a big enough upgrade for me to think 7 million is what I want to do straight away? Probably not, to be honest. If being totally honest with you, I think Taylor Harvey-Ellis, on the other hand,
if you could get the Eddie Nketiah loan deal back on right now, and not Eddie Nketiah now, but as he was when we took him, a deal like that for us right now, that'd solve everything. A young striker.
Well, yeah, that's it. Yeah, it's. I'd be up for that. I'm not fussed about getting someone on loan. I'm not that fussed about it. I think the big priority right now is promotion. You know, I know there's a bigger picture, but we can't just be looking at the bigger picture all the time in terms of the future because we've got a very young squad. I don't mind going for some short-term options because we've got a long-term squad building. We've got Charlie Cresswell, Yelder, Drama, Melier, Gray, Ampadu. You know, the whole squad is quite young. I don't mind getting someone out on loan who might only be here for like 6 months or a whole season. Who knows? I don't mind doing that. I'm open to doing that. I think there's plenty of strikers at Premier League level. You know, Archer straight away comes from ahead from Villa. Yeah. We did a great job at Borough last season. Was Villa loan him out to us or want a permanent deal? I don't know. He's an option. Joel Pirro is probably the one I look at and think that's probably his guarantees. Yes, the fee's going to be heavy on Joel Pirro, but he scored 20 goals back-to-back for a mid-table Swansea team. And it's a mid-table Swansea team that plays pretty similar styles of football to us, or what we're trying to do under Daniel Farke. So I'm up for it. I'm up for doing that. I'm just up for getting a striker of some description, to be honest. I'm up for that very much so. I mean, it's 5. I mean, Jorginho Rutter, I know we signed last January, but I don't count him as an out-and-out striker. I think he's better in a 2 or as a number 10. I don't think he's going to be, at any level really, going to be someone who plays on his own up front and is particularly impactful. I mean, Chris, what's your kind of take on it, mate?
So I think even before the injuries, it was a massive priority. I think we've needed a new striker for years, and even if Bamford was fit, you'd still wouldn't want to go into the season relying on him. I don't want him to go. I want him to play. If he was fit and back to how he was in his sort of first Premier League season, or even the season before, he's more than good enough to lead the line. I just don't know if that's ever going to happen again. I think he's just going to have injury after injury. And I think we need to buy someone or get someone on loan who is going to start. I guess when we had Nketiah and Bamford both kind of chipping in with the goals, and at the moment it's just hard to see where the goals are going to come from. I can just see us dominating the game, being sort of 70% possession, all the sort of they're not number 10s, but all the sort of quick wingers just sort of bombing around the box, sort of losing the ball or taking pot shots, and I could just see it being a bit frustrating, but good to watch, but no one to finish these chances.
Let's be honest, we could quite easily become, we've seen it kind of before with Farke's system, Buendia, we could quite easily become Sinisterra and vibes, couldn't we? I'm happy to become that, to be honest, because I think Sinisterra is outrageously better than anyone in the league. I genuinely do think that is the level he's at compared to every other player in the league. He is ridiculously better than everyone else in the league. I don't think it's arrogant to say that, because you look at what he did at Premier League level, he was one of the best players in the bottom 8 teams. I mean, if we can keep him, but I do think we're at risk if we don't get a striker. Yeah, there's that as well. I'm going to come on to that. I think the big thing next season, I've said this, throughout the last couple of videos, every single team we play this season, in the first 5 minutes, is going to try and foul Sinisterra. Yeah. That let him know you're there kind of tackle. It's been fun, because at Championship level, you get away with it a lot more than in the Premier League. They know he's the key for us. And you might see it with Nonto as well to an extent. He will probably get targeted as well. And I'm sure Farke will have prepared the players for this and, be prepared to take the hits to an extent. But I do think if we don't get a striker, it will become Sinisterra and vibes ready for us, where it's pass the ball to Sinisterra and hope for the best. It's not the worst thing in the world to do, but I do think we need some. The wingers will win us a lot of games, as Chris alluded to, and they will do a lot of hero balling, taking shots from like 30 yards out and trying to, sometimes overdo it a little bit. We need to relieve the pressure a little bit on them as well. Have that constant presence in the box who can get you sort of 20 goals a season as well, or a number 10 who's going to really knit things together. We have to get one of those two positions. Otherwise, there's no chance I think we get top 2. I would say it that strongly. I think at this level, you need a 10 and a 9 who's going to really link things together.
Are you basically saying that you think we absolutely have to get top 2 this season, and that's...
For me, I think there's a big gap, and I'm interested what you guys think as well, because just looking at the Southampton team tonight, that is ridiculous quality-wise. In terms of the 18 they've got tonight, that is... I know we're going to lose like Lavia, probably James Ward-Prowse, but even with that, they've got a £15 million Man City wonder kid on the bench. They've got him on the bench, kind of thing. It's insane the depth they've got. Kyle Walker-Peters and Manning at wing back or full back. They've got really good options. They've got a manager there who's worked at this level a lot, plays quite a nice brand of football, probably will do well at Southampton. Leicester, yes, they've lost Maddison and Barnes, but I think the gap between the 3 teams coming down and the rest of the league is quite big. I really do think it's pretty big. Yes, we could lose players. Yes, every game's going to be a battle this season. But I do think if we're not spot on from the off, there could be a gap between us and Southampton and Leicester quite early on. I'm not going to lie to you.
Yeah.
I think the start is very, very key for us. For me, we've got to push towards massive promotion as an absolute minimum. I'm not going to say it's top 2 or bust, because you've got the playoffs. You don't know what the other team's going to be at as well. Yeah, it's top 2 or bust, isn't it? Let's be honest, boys. It's top 2 or bust. Let's be honest here. I'm not. Yeah. I said that. I'm trying to say it with a straight face that about the playoffs. Yeah, I can't do playoffs. It's top 2 or bust. That's the rules. But yeah, seriously, if we're not pushing for massive promotion, even with the squad as it is now, unbalanced, then there is seriously questions to be asked. If you can't win games on a regular basis with Sinisterra and Aaron and Harrison on the wings in this league against Championship fullbacks, then there is a big question to be asked. And not just that, you've got people like Ampadu in the team, Creswell, Drama, players that have performed really well at this level before as well, and they're only going to get better.
Yeah, I'm the same as you in that I want to reserve judgment a little bit until, and I know it's a bit of a cop out, and people are getting annoyed at Farke for making the same cop out. But I want to see what the squad does look like at the end of the transfer window and see how we shape up at that point. Don't get me wrong, I know we could be left a little bit behind if we haven't shaped up well at the start few games anyway. But for me, top two at the moment, looking at those squads, I do kind of see them two maybe cutting us adrift early. I think you compare our squads to theirs, and from what I expect to still get cherry picked out of ours and what I expect us to bring in.
Probably only takes though. I genuinely think it only takes 2 signings for us to be at least as good as those 2 teams. If you had a quality left back and a quality centre forward to our team, we could actually compete with those teams pretty easily. I think squad wise.
Perhaps I'd still
we have to get those, of course. We have to get those players.
From the fan perspective, it has to be top 2 because realistically, we know how the playoffs ends. We need to be open. We need to be aiming to go and win the fucking league. I mean, we need to be aiming for automatic promotion and not Angus Kinnear dicking around with the playoffs. But the Leeds fan in me does say I expect us to finish in the playoffs and lose in the playoffs. And again, I want to reserve judgment until I've seen how it shapes up in beginning of September before I nail my colours to the mast on that one. But that's just my cautious Leeds fan coming out and going, prepare yourself for either 7th or even worse, 6th. Because we know 6th ends worse than 7th anyway.
Yeah, but if we're messing around at that bottom end of the playoffs, and it's been a bad season for me, I'm not being funny. It is absolutely insane for me if that's where we're at. You know, I'm not saying it can't happen. It absolutely can happen. Of course it can. But that would be a monumental failure. Impossible. Yeah, but look at the players we've got. Imagine if Middlesbrough, if you offered Middlesbrough Sinistera, how buzzing they would be. Yeah. We've not just got Sinistera, we've got Nonso, Harrison on top of that. Yes, there are those other positions on the pitch. Ampadu for $7.5 million. I don't know how I genuinely don't know how Ampadu's playing at this level. I think that's absolutely insane. I'm absolutely buzzing with it, but that is absolutely crazy that we've got a player of that quality at this level. I seriously, I think it'd be ridiculous if we're not pushing for automatic promotion. I'm not guaranteed it will happen, but that has got to be the absolute minimum for me. Absolute minimum is pushing for automatic promotion.
Do you not think we're going to sell some players before the end?
You can't have a player like Luis Sinistera and say to him, don't worry, Luis. You're not playing in the Premier League today. You're going to be having a season in the Championship, but we might finish in the top 6. What do you think his reaction would be to that, Luis Sinistera? Sorry, Chris, but I just had to make that point. I mean, can you imagine his face if we say, "Oh yeah, top 6 is the aim"? You imagine what his face is. Can you still hear me, guys?
I can still hear you. No, I think I missed some of that, but I just can't see us keeping the squad we've got. I think if you're right, a lot of the other teams would love to have some of our players. People would love to have Tyler Adams and people like that. But are these players going to be there in a few weeks' time? And I know some of them are injured, so that might help us. But even with a slight injury, they could still be sold. Is my worry.
Yeah, true.
Leeds United can't. I know the history. I know 16 years at Championship level, but that was unacceptable anyway. Leeds United can't come into the Championship and not be looking to win the league. Absolutely, it's second division level that cannot be, especially new owners as well. The ambition has got to be to try and win the league, or get top 2. It has to be the ambition. It can be done.
It can be the
ambition. Okay. Imagine if Marcelo Bielsa, was managing Leeds in the Championship with Sinistera and Nonto on the league. On the wings, it would be absolutely. You get about 120 points. But whatever the maximum is at Championship level, you will not win a game. We'd not win a game. We'd win every game. Genuinely, is that not a fair thing to say? We genuinely possibly could win almost every game. Obviously, we'll win every game, but you know what I'm saying.
We need somewhere between 85 and 90, really, don't we, for automatic, don't we?
But you know what I'm kind of saying? It says that the quality we've got now, for me, is much better than what we went up with in the first place. I personally believe.
Probably, yeah. It's a fair shout.
If you took Pablo out of it,
it's not balanced.
Yeah, no, there is that. But if you took Pablo out of it, and let's be honest, he was injured a lot of that season we went up. there was absolutely no question for me. Helder Costa versus Luis Sinisterra.
Well, the squad that we got relegated with was probably a stronger squad than the one that stayed up the season before, in all honesty. Apart from, you take Rafinha out, Calvin out, the squad itself was pretty shit. It just had two spectacular individuals in it, whereas what we bought in, maybe take, Rasmus, Llorente, Koch and all that shit out. But, Tyler Adams coming in, Nonto coming in, Sinisterra coming in. I don't think Cini and Raf are on the same level, but it's kind of Cini and Nonto together is an adequate replacement to a degree for Raf. Tyler Adams and Ethan Ampadu is probably an adequate replacement for Calvin, and the rest is, some of it's gone slightly up, some of it's gone slightly down, but we're not too far off the strength of squad that we've had during those peak years in the Premier League. So if you can get a manager who can get out of them what the previous manager, as in that one, not the three dickheads that followed, can get out of them, then there's no reason why it isn't an option. But the sceptical Leeds fan in me has watched Marsh Ball for a year, has watched Alaball for 4 games, has watched Gracia fail miserably, and has watched Skabala try his best but not really get too far either. So I'm trying to go into it with limited expectation but maximum hope. I hope that we do get automatic promotion. I've got a tenner on us to win the league. So if we do, I'll be buzzing. But obviously I'm just preparing myself for playoff heartache again, just in case.
Oh, yeah. I mean, listen, for what it's worth, and I'll go get a number off you guys where you think we're going to finish. I actually think we're going to finish third. My honest prediction is I think we'll finish third. Because I am worried about Southampton and Leicester, I'm not going to lie.
If I can give you an answer again on any time after the 1st of September, but for now, I'm going to say either 6th or 7th.
Oh, jeez. I thought I was being quite... I thought I was playing it quite safe. Jeez, what are you saying, Chris?
I'm somewhere in the middle. I think, I'm going to go fourth or fifth based on how things stand at the moment. I think we're going to start... To
be honest, though, third, fourth, it doesn't really... If we're not top 2, I don't really care that much, to be honest.
Yeah.
I don't think we're going to storm straight to the top. I don't think we're going to be sat here 5 wins on the bounce, runaway sort of leaders. That's for sure. But I just think we need to start positively. You don't need to be there. You can still pick up a lot of pace in the second half of the season. But it's just got to be in and around the playoffs. I think to start with, just so some of the, I guess, newer and younger players can settle in.
I think it's easier to have this conversation as well when you've seen more than just 20 minutes of Southampton versus Sheffield Wednesday. When if I get to see a few, like Plymouth, for example, I haven't watched Plymouth in years. If I watch them and they're dog shit, I'll be looking forward to getting 6 points off them. If I'm watching Rotherham every week and I'm like, yep, 6 points there. But I want to see what the teams that did well last season in the Championship but didn't go, like, how are Coventry going to look? Do they get to keep some of their better players and do they keep it up that way? And Middlesbrough, are they good again? Blackburn have always been up and down. I saw someone tip them to get relegated today, but they've always been like pushing playoffs and never quite made it. West Brom, Norwich, there's big teams-ish down here that are always...
There is, but Phil, look at their squads. Like, seriously, look at their squads compared to ours. I'm not trying to be disrespectful to these teams. I'm not saying we will definitely finish above them. I'm not guaranteeing that at all. I think you've got people like Michael Carrick managing at this level. They were clearly really good managers. The gap in quality is huge. Like, seriously, I'm genuinely looking at like teams like Norwich and West Brom, some of the better teams in the league. I'm not sure I'd take that many players from their team. Not even for our squad. Never mind starting 11. I've been totally honest with you. That's like me being real now. I seriously think we've got to be looking to. I agree with Chris. I don't think we're going to win like the first 5 games, but let's just move on to something else, guys, because we've got very special events coming up. Myself and Jed Stone are putting together, and it is from Promotion Heroes, the 2009-2010 Promotion Winning Heroes, the legendary strike partnership. Luciano Becchio and Jermaine Beckford are coming to Yorkshire this October. Plenty of events coming up, but especially the ones you want to look for are the ones we still have tickets on. Morley, Leeds, Doncaster and Worksop in October. of this year. The link will be in the description down below after this stream. Do check it out, guys. Tickets are selling very, very quickly. You can see two promotion heroes for the first time together. They're going to talk about that season and their Leeds United careers. Both absolute legends, both on and off the pitch. Check that one out, guys. I'm really excited about that. There's going to be plenty of content from all these TV around that week as well. Really been something we've been working hard on behind the scenes. And we can't wait, guys. So do check it out in the link down below. There's striker problems for Leeds at this moment in time, but there's no striker problems in October at all. Got plenty. So let's go back into it. And let's go on to the team lineup now. Phil, I'm going to go to you first, mate. So I think just go for it, mate. Just straight off the bat, you 1 to 11 for Cardiff.
I don't think it's going to be that different to what we've seen in pre-season, to be honest. I think the only one that I've got a bit of a sticking point with is whether we announced the signing of Sam Byram before. I think it's today the dedeadline, or was it yesterday? Can he play or can he not?
I think it's actually passed.
Yeah, so it's whether he can or can't play. But the vast majority I expect to be the same as pre-season. So it's 4-2-3-1. Farke's already said Meslier will start in goal unless he gets injured before the game. But there's a likelihood that Darlow will be competing for that shirt in a few weeks' time. Back four. I actually said to you before pre-season even started, Luke Ayling will wear that shirt, whether it's right or whether it's wrong, but Luke Ayling will start the season at right back. I'm hoping it'll be Cresswell and Cooper, to be honest, as starting centre halves. Not 1,000,000% sure it will be, but we'll see. Left back, I'd be tempted to give it Byram, I'll be honest, but equally I've seen people raving about Leo Yelder. I don't really give a shit which one. I'm happy to just sort of see how it goes. The two sitting, I'd like it to be Ampadu and Archie Gray. An Archie Gray debut would be something that we could all get behind. He's looked really good in pre-season. Ampadu's slotted in really well, looks worth every penny. And that front four, obviously, I know missing a striker in Bamford or Ruta or Mateo Joseph, but I'm honestly not too worried in the options that we do have. We've got so much quality, and you can say they're all wingers, but you know, Joffy did a job for us in the Prem as a striker at times. Dan James arguably did a job for us as a striker at times in the Premier League. But if you've got Harrison's obviously not available for now, we'll see if that ends up being something we can use in the future. But we know we do have the likes of Sinistera, who has been playing a lot in pre-season. Nonto's been used off the bench, but Sinistera, Somerville, Nonto, Dan James, Joffy Gelhart's in there as well. Someone will throw the names like Greenwood and Perkins and all those in there. But I think out of those main five that I just said, you can pick four, put them in any position. And I, like you said, Oscar, in terms of the quality of the other squads in the division, we played Cardiff not that long ago. Don't get me wrong, we were at the away leg and it wasn't great, but the home leg where we beat them, scored 5 past them. Oh, you sound
good effect you got
there. You need to log out and back in again. So yeah, put those 4 attacking options, 5 of 4 of those. Oscar, mate, log out and back in. That's terrible. Chris, what's your starting 11?
It's pretty similar, to be honest. I think Meslier in goal, got quite happy with him there. I don't think we should bring in the new keeper just yet. It's good to have competition, and probably over the course of the season it might change. Again, I'm quite happy with Ayling at right back. I don't know drama. I don't know if he's going to be up for it if he wants to stay. I suppose he's injured at the moment, isn't he? But we'll soon see. Centre back, I think Cooper. I'll probably go Pascal, but again, wouldn't be too fussed if it was Cresswell, and probably Helder for the left back. I think I'll go to same midfield as you, Ampadu and Gray. It seems that they're first choice, I guess, at the moment, while Adams isn't there. In the 4, I suppose ahead of it, it's got to be Sinistera, Somerville, probably Dan James, and I'd like to see Nonto up front, but again, I just think there's a bit of a problem there. I don't know if he's on his way out, but I
think so.
I don't know why he's always on the bench and no one's really talking about him too much.
Yeah. Oscar, are you Your audio is brilliant. I think you should present the rest of the show. You can't hear what you sound like, can you? Imagine walking along a bridge and a troll is under that bridge, just summoning you for a fight or something. That's you right now. Just log out and back in again. Maybe unplug the mic and plug them. So I'll take the reins from here. I'm assuming Oscar was going to ask us, now that we've done lineup predictions, what our score predictions are. So guys, in the comments, if you're watching, of course, send yours in, and if Oscar can log back in, he'll flash them up because me and Chris can't. But Chris, what's your score prediction for the weekend?
I think we've got to win. I think I'm going to go 2-0. I don't know too much about Cardiff. They obviously didn't do great last season. No one's tipping them to be anywhere near the top half even. So I think it's where, with the players we've still got around this year, I don't know, they're all going to be here come the end of the window. But for now, so I'm going to go, fairly comfortable 2-0.
I'm going to do the same as you, mate, simply because I'm going to save my in-depth analysis of any championship team until the second half of the season when I've seen them all, because I haven't watched any championship football for years.
Nice.
I've been a snob. So, yeah, I mean, the only thing I have to go off is the 2 times we played them last season. The first one was dire, but not because they were good, because we were shit. But second time we played them, some of those players obviously are still there. They're still playing at the weekend. Some aren't. If I remember right, did Bamford score a hat trick? I mean,
I don't know if it's a hat trick, but yeah,
he definitely got 2, did he? He got at least 2.
Yeah.
But, if that's the case, and Nonto scored the worldie fucking Di Canio volley within the first minute, we've got the quality to be able to. And from what I've heard, they haven't strengthened anywhere near as much. They are still tipped to sort of be in and around that relegation battle. So I would expect us to be starting the season off at home in front of a capacity crowd. They've not sold out their full allocation. There was tickets available for Leeds fans to be able to buy that bottom section. I think it's going to be a great atmosphere, hopefully a good performance and a good result. So I'm predicting a win. I'm not sure how many, but it really depends on how we play, how far Cabor sets in. But if we can channel what we've done for the last 2 pre-season friendlies as opposed to the first 2 pre-season friendlies, I'd say a comfortable win and a clean sheet would be a nice end to the first game of the season. Oscar, can you?
Yeah, no, I totally agree.
You're back,
mate. I don't understand this. I literally don't understand this at all. This is like Jesse Marsh football. I do not understand what's going on here.
So we've done score predictions in your absence. So you're the only one left.
I can hear you, mate. You don't need to go like
just like
done score. You don't have to talk slowly, mate. I can understand.
I'm not. That's your Wi-Fi.
You act like the Wi-Fi is bad. Outrageous. I'm going to go like a really gritty 1-0. I think it's going to be a horrible, horrific, nasty 90 minutes of football that we're going to be glad it's over. But I do think we'll win the game 1-0. I think Cardiff will sit in, be quite direct against us, which is why I hope Charlie Creswell plays to win his duels and stop Cardiff getting a foothold in the game at all. I think we'll dominate possession like you typically expect from the Daniel Farke team. And I think we will probably most games this season dominate possession and be trying to break the opposition down. If we score early in the game, though, I can see us hammering Cardiff, but I don't think we will. I think we'll need a moment of magic, probably from Sinistera or Nonto or Somerville, whichever of our superstars at this level. We need to step up. That's the good thing I think we've got this season. We have got that ace, those difference makers. We've got several of them, and most teams only have one at most. But yeah, I think we'll get a clean sheet. I think 1-0. Don't think it'll be a great game of football. I think Cardiff will try and spoil the party a bit. And yeah, so 1-0. Nice and exciting. Right. Okay, I thought someone was going to say something after that. Just like
enjoying hearing you sound normal, mate.
Yeah, that's good. That's good. But yeah, I mean, so right, we've done predictions. Okay, we've done predictions for the game and the season. And we're going to ask you now for your predictions on top scorer for Leeds this season.
I think there's only one person I can actually say right now, to be honest, and it depends who comes in the door.
And why are you saying Matteo Joseph, Bill?
The crutches really do it for me. No, I'd say at the moment, the only person I can see banging in goals, again, if he stays fit and if he's still here, but based on the quality that he's got and he showed in the Premier League when he was available, is Sinisterra. I think if he stays fit, he should walk this league. He should be like Pablo at his peak, or Rafinha dicking around at the bottom of the Premier League and enjoying that bit. He should easily score way more than I love seeing the Bamford suggestions. But yeah, he should outscore Bamford quite easily, I'd expect.
Okay. Chris? Yeah, it'd be hard to disagree, really. I can't see him scoring sort of 15, 20 goals. That's the only problem. I can just see the goals being spread amongst all of these types of players. Yeah. I think our top scorer maybe isn't at the club at the moment. I think we're still to bring them in, but yeah, I don't know. I'd be tempted to say Nonce, but I just don't think he's going to be here. So I think it's going to have to be Cine.
Okay. I'm going with a similar vibe, but I'm going to say if Joel Perreault signs, Joel Perreault will be top scorer. But yeah, I'll go for Cine for the time being. I'll go for Cine. I think even if he gets an injury, as bad as it sounds, I still back him to be our top scorer. I just think he feels nailed on to get sort of 15, 16, 17, maybe 18 goals this season for me. I really do think he's got that kind of potential. I mean, Nathan Teller scored for Southampton tonight. I think he got 17 last season from the wings. We've seen Max Grade have a great season on the wing for us. It's been a while since we've got a genuine full-on goal scorer on the sides. You know, like Rafinha, yes, but in terms of like someone who could actually go into a season, you're thinking, yeah, he could actually get 20 goals this season if he stays fully fit. And I think Sinisterra is that option, I'm hoping. Reality, Sinisterra like Leeds, like on August the 6th. And we forget this conversation ever happened. Top assister then. Let's go for that next one. Phil.
Again, probably depending, it's on those wide areas and it depends who's fit and stays. But it wouldn't surprise me. I reckon Dan James stays. I reckon Dan James gets used a lot. And I reckon Dan James will be good at this level. I'd put Dan James in that conversation. Equally, though, if the likes of Somerville, Nonto, Cine as well, obviously, is in that conversation, any one of those three, if they all stay and they play minutes, and Harrison, again, does he stay simply because he's injured? And I don't know, but Harrison goes in that conversation, any one of those wide players. But just for the sake of throwing it out there, I'll probably just bang my money on Dan James.
Okay, interesting one. Chris?
I think I'm going to go Somerville. I think he's got the pace, trickery, and I just think he's got a bit more to him than James. I think James will be good. I guess we tried to buy him for the championship the first time around. It didn't happen, but he is good for this level. He seems to want to be around, and I'm happy with all the players we've got in those areas. But I'd just like to see Somerville stay first and foremost, and then I think he will do well for us.
Which works quite well for next cutaway, because I think Jack Harrison will be our top assister this season, if he stays, of course. But I just think, I think on that left-hand side or right-hand side, I just think if it is, we're playing Hjelde there or an inverted left-back, I think Harrison's going to be staying wide, swinging cross after cross after cross after cross in the box. And if we do get the striker, notice my terminology there, when we get Joel Perreault, I think it's going to happen, man. I think we're going to cook in those areas. And I think it's going to be Jack Harrison getting top assister. And yes, that is my totally happy prediction. I'm going to just have Jack Harrison for top assister. So that takes me to our next fantastic offer or prize. Bear with us 1 second, guys. So hopefully you can see the screen. Can you see football prizes there, guys? Are you actually messing?
No, I can't see shit.
Are you actually messing? Can you actually not see football prizes?
Nope.
What is going on here?
Just drop a link down below like you did earlier.
Yeah, guys. This is a nightmare. Why is it not showing football prizes? You are messing it. It's showing football prizes. It is showing football prizes. You are
Unless
messing.
Phil's the prize in the middle, that's there's nothing else.
I am the prize. He just fucks off and leaves us to it. Oh, he's back.
It's a nightmare. But we do have, I will leave the link in the description, guys. We do have a fantastic competition on offer here from Football Prizes, a mega bundle, 20 prizes and 1 winner. As we're going to talk through some of the prizes here on offer, we've got we have got 2 matches at Ellen Road Hospitality included, signed memorabilia from past and present players, squad signed shirts, gift cards, cash, and more. Only £9.95 a ticket. 14th of August is the deadline on this one. 299 tickets. In fact, we're down to 187 tickets available now. This is an unbelievable list prize on offer. Leeds United fans as well who run this fantastic website with fantastic prizes, not just Leeds United based, plenty of other competitions on offer too. But this one really caught my eye, and I think this will interest a lot of people. £9.95 a ticket. Unbelievable price on offer here. You've got 2 matches hospitality, signed, squad signed shirts, signed memorabilia from past and present players, gift cards, cash. What more can you possibly want as a Leeds United fan? Check it out, guys. Leeds supporting Leeds. Check them out in the description down below. And you've only got till the 14th of August here, so make your decision quickly because there's only 187 tickets available, and they are going to sell out quickly. I'm telling you now. So let's do. I don't know. Have we got anything else to discuss on this game?
You the boss?
No. No one say anything. No. Okay. Cool. That's ideal. That for a stream, lads. Is that normally when I say something, normally it's a good idea if you respond. Because you can't really do awkward silence in the stream. You can't really do.
It's been so fun to wind you up this evening, and you not know whether we were being serious or not.
I honestly don't know if you could actually see that on the screen or if you were messing with me.
No, we genuinely can't. The comments.
I did think even for you weren't going to mess with me on that, but
no. I mean, the only other thing I'd say is I'm unfortunately not at the game at the weekend. Chris, you are. Oscar,
Can I just interject there, though? When you say unfortunately not at the game, considering you've not seen us win a game since January 2022.
I saw us win once under Javi Gracia.
Right.
The Firpo moment, hence why I called my cat Firpo.
Oh, yeah. I remember that.
Yeah.
Do you still call your cat Firpo?
Yeah, it's over there. It's called Firpo.
Okay. Not changed the name or anything, or?
No, why should I? Still here. Just going to captain the lads, isn't
he? Okay. That's awkward now. Chris, any last thoughts on the game, mate?
I think we've probably covered a lot of it, but I am positive about the season. I think there is a lot of concerns still about several areas, but I think we have got quite a bit to be sort of hopeful about. So, yeah, I'd like to see us start with a win, and then see where we are come the end of the transfer window.
Yeah, I agree. I think it'd be very different predictions. Phil alluded to it before. You can have a prediction now on the 4th of August and a prediction on the 1st of September. And I genuinely think the squad will look very different on the 1st of September, and I hope for the better. I think that's all we can do, is hope for the better. One last thing to mention, guys. Plenty of new merch from All East TV. I would share the screen. I could share the screen, but unfortunately I can't share the screen. Plenty of fantastic stuff on offer from ourselves in terms of merchandise. If you want t-shirts, bucket hats, Leeds United based, check it out, guys. Link will be in the description down below as well. And yeah, please do check it out, guys. Hit that subscribe button if you haven't done already. Hit the like button as well. Plenty more content on its way. And we have got fan cams are back. We are now back and allowed to do fan cams again, which we won't go too much into, but we're allowed to do it again. We're delighted to be allowed to do it again, and we will be doing it again. We're hoping it'll be a fantastic atmosphere. It will be a fantastic atmosphere, and we hope it'll be a good game and a good video all in all. Plenty of more content as well. And yeah, we will leave it there. There'll be another big match preview ahead of Shrewsbury. Oh, that's depressing, isn't it? I mean, Cardiff, Shrewsbury, and Birmingham is the first 3 games of this season.
And I'll be back to take
over. We've got a year of this. We've got at the very least, we've got a season of this. Every single team hated Leeds United. Oh, my words. We're back at it, aren't we? We're back at it. You know what? This has been the moment where I thought, oh, shit.
Yeah, we're here. We've arrived.
Yeah, we're here, out. We've arrived.
We're back.
He was seeing that show Wednesday Samson game. I had a little bit of that oh shititis kind of thing, but then I thought, oh no, this is real now. This is actually real. We're back into 46 game season, Saturday, Tuesdays, back in the same league as the likes of Neil Warnock. Lovely stuff. Lovely stuff, isn't it? It's all good. It's all good. It's not, but it's all good. Anyway, guys, thanks so much for watching, and we will see you later.